Honorable Speaker, protect me from this man from Kasambia. So I'm saying that this is poor planning, honestly. Finally, right, Honorable Speaker, the Electoral Commission needs 469 billion shillings to create 15,256 new polling stations, 1.5 months to the election. How can this be okay? We have had 5 years to plan for an election. So 1.5 months to an election is when you're saying, oh, we need to create 15,000 new polling stations, give us money. But how?
Honorable Joel.
And then...
Honorable Joel.
Yes, right, Honorable Speaker.
Do they just need to create or they have created?
Honorable Speaker, and that's the entire plan.
That is a concern to all of us. This one is not partisan. Do they just need to create or they have created?
Honorable Speaker, and that's the planning element I am talking about. So at whichever time you have created them, it is now that you're saying we need money, as if you did not plan for it. But why? Why do you not plan properly? 1.5 months to an election. That's my big concern. Honorable Speaker, the biometric voter verification kits, part of which this money is going to take care of. Again, as I did mention earlier on, there are so many unanswered questions here. You're coming here to Parliament and saying, give us money. Members of Parliament are asking questions about these machines. In the past, they have been used and they never functioned. Network issues, usability, and so on and so forth. But you are saying, give us money. 1.5 months to elections. When is training going to happen? For all stakeholders, by the way, including us in this house. I need to know how this machine works because I'm a stakeholder. It's not just for the Electoral Commission officials. So that when I am sending my agents out, I have equipped them. This is what you need to look out for. This is how this thing works. This is when you know there is a problem. 1.5 months to the election. All of that is a green area. Honorable Speaker, we need government to come clean on this biometric voter verification kits. For all of us, by the way, as I did mention, I had colleagues in the NRM, some of them complaining that they were being rigged in their primaries and so on and so forth. This is a concern for all of us, not just we in the opposition. You also want to be sure that this process is fair, it is understandable, regardless where you do belong. So we need cleanness from the state regarding this.
These people are distracting me.
Finally, right, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, what Honorable Senior is saying at the beginning is a very important thing. Maybe we need to have a training for members of Parliament, since we are representatives of the people and we are all stakeholders. Can we organize for Electoral Commission to have an interaction with us so that we get to understand what the machines do, how they are supposed to be used, so that we go out there to tell the people that this is what you expect at the end of the day. So can we have that interaction with the EC as members of Parliament?
Honorable Speaker, a colleague wants to say.
Madam Speaker, yesterday we were shocked. Even the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Musasi, they did not know how these things are going to work. He was also asking in the committee, and I asked him, but you are the one presenting the request. How can you not even know how the Electoral Commission, and I am being truthful, other members can confirm.
We are saying we all don't know. Don't specify on Musasi. Everybody doesn't know. Let's have the training, and the Honorable Lof has brought a very important issue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And you see, that's why it's always important to operate in the open. So you come here for money for these machines. You have little, if any, information about them, the one asking for the money. All stakeholders are not brought on board. Who are we purchasing them from? How are they meant to function, and so on and so forth. We have had concerns about network usability in the past and so on. And then we hear these machines could be used mandatorily. Because you see, government also needs to come out very clearly on that matter. Are they saying these kits are going to be used mandatorily? We need a yes or no, so that we know.
Electoral Commission should come out clear, not government, because the leadership in government are all candidates. So let the Electoral Commission come out.
Honorable Speaker, here in Parliament, the Electoral Commission is represented by the Ministry of Justice and the Attorney General. The EC chairperson does not sit here. That's why we're putting these issues to government. Yeah, so it's important that we get to know, are they going to be used mandatorily? If so, what happens where network fails? What happens where some of the officials, as we saw in the last election, the polling official does not know how to use the thing? Because we have a month to the elections, they have not been purchased yet. My final concern, right, Honorable Speaker.
But also, before you come to the final concern, those are some of the issues that when we are having an interaction with the EC, that we should be able to ask the EC and we should be able to get responses to that effect.
Thank you, and I really hope that
Right Honorable, I would want to provide information to the Leader of Opposition that in this supplementary, we have also provided money to NERA, and NERA has a robust plan to roll out card distribution, the national ID card distribution. And that is very important to the electoral process because the system that you're talking about, you're referring to, will require every voter to use the national ID. And therefore, they must work in symphony. And so the supplementary to the Electoral Commission and to NERA are very important.
Everybody got the IDs.
So that is what is happening right now.
Right, Robert, now a spanner has been thrown in the works. And as I have...
On the 22nd, to be specific, on the 30th day of October 2025, we wrote to the Electoral Commission, that is from the ecological part of Uganda, and we requested them to respond to the following questions. Right, Honorable Speaker, I would like to thank you for your intervention on this matter. But this should not be restricted only to members of Parliament, but if we can also involve political parties, because they are participating at that level, and other local leaders at that level, because these are the questions I posed, right, Honorable Speaker. One is the issue of data protection, because our data, other than having the machine supplier, there will be an interface between the voters' roll, our data from NERA, and the supplier who I hear allegedly is from China. Now that is important, that this individual or this company will now have my biometrics, will have my facial recognition supplied to it from the National Data Center of Uganda, and knowing at the moment that one of the most important things is proliferation of data, that I'll sit here and someone who has my biometrics will be able to open up my mobile phone that is smart from a remote area. Yes, because when they supply this data for verification, including my biometrics, I don't know how secure it is. Then secondly, the other question we posed was whether these biometric voter verification machines will be labeled according to the polling stations where they will be deployed. And I know the reason as to why I'm asking this question in particular. Just like, you know, when we get the parking list of ballots and etc., there is pure annotation and, you know, there is pure marking of everything that this is for Rwanda, this polling station, N to M, A to Z. And finally, Right Honorable Speaker, with the world of technology that we are having, there is a possibility of hacking and cyber penetration by third parties. How secure are we that you might have a machine and there is a bypass from another party? The security of our elections. Therefore, as I conclude, Right Honorable Speaker, the Electoral Commission must come and demonstrate the dry run for us as to how it will handle, because a polling station might have between 300 and 500 people. How these people will be handled in a sequence of 5 minutes or 3 minutes, because if it's 2 minutes per person, then in 1 hour you can handle about probably 30 persons. And if we have 10 voting hours, then what happens to those that are still in the queue? So these are things we want to try and test through a dry run, that we stand in a line and they call by name and we see how we put our biometric figures there and how much time the interface between that information coming out from NIRA and telling you now you can move into the queue to vote. You might find that some people might be disenfranchised, or we might have to go to 2 days of continuous voting.
I just want to state to the House that I am going to communicate to the Electoral Commission and require them to come and have an interaction with the members of Parliament on how the BBVK will work and their readiness in that respect as stakeholder. I will ensure that this communication reaches them before the end of tomorrow.